I'm your host, Iris. Today, we have Bing Zhu, founder of Stratos, Zikun Fan, CTO of Cross Network, and Chris Long, marketing manager of Finance. It's a great pleasure to have you guys with us. Welcome. Before we start, you can scan the QR code on the screen to join our community and participate in the Lucky Draws. Our live streaming will be on 4 channels, and we have 2 rounds of Lucky Draw in each of these channels. 3 winners will be randomly chosen for each round, and everyone will get 15 Stratos tokens. There will be POAP badges for all participants of this panel. To claim POAP, no gas fee will be required. You can scan the QR code in the live streaming channels to claim your POAP badges, or you can claim them via the pinned link in the chat channels. There might be some surprise for Snapfingers POAP holders in the future. All right, let's do this. First, please briefly introduce yourselves and your projects to our viewers. Let's go first with Bing. Hi.
Hi. Thank you, Iris. Thank you, everyone. I'm very happy to be here to meet all you guys. My name is Bing Zhu. As the founder of Stratos, I have over 20 years experience in software development across multiple platforms and technologies. Previously, I was the cloud team founder of the MediGeek, where I built the complete big data ecosystem and led the entire team to provide the data service to more than 100 million users per day and across all the countries in the world. And also, I was a technical co-founder of FamData, an AI company in Canada. And with my experience and a lot of different successful stories, right now I'm leading the Strato team to build the Strato decentralized infrastructure services, which include blockchain, decentralized storage, decentralized database, and decentralized computation. Thank you.
Thank you, Bing. Thank you for joining us. And let's welcome Zikun.
Hey guys, very glad to be here with Snapfingers. And my name is Zikun, and I'm from Cross Network. And Cross Network is incentive blockchain project which aimed on the decentralized storage, which also integrated with the standard IPFS storage protocol. And on September 1st, our mainnet will be launched. And so I'm super happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Zikun, for joining us. Nice to meet you here. And let's welcome Chris. Hi, Chris, could you please turn on the...
Sorry. Yeah. So, hi. Thank you, Iris, and hello, everyone. My name is Chris, and I'm the marketing manager for Finance. Just briefly introduce Finance, which is a defined project launched on Aave blockchain that provides decentralized financial service for everyone. And it lowers the development barrier and enhances the user depth experience using a storage-based computation paradigm. So with a genus of storage-based computation paradigm, it can build decentralized application that's similar to the traditional internet. And we also launched a product which is called Everpay, and is launched as a cross-chain payment and settlement protocol, providing real-time and low-fee token payment service for users and merchants. So Everpay transaction cost at very low, and with thousands of transactions just cost you as little as 5 DINCOs. So in addition, Everpay has no TPS limit, and the size of TPS depends on the application architecture and service capability of each protocol. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Nice to meet you all. And now we can go with our first question. Storage is defined as a retention of retrievable data on various electronic systems. The concept of storage has lived with us for a long time, from the days of us having to put files on a floppy disk to being able to place files in the cloud. Being a part of this industry ourselves, we have been very familiar with decentralization, and we just briefly brought up storage. But what is exactly decentralized storage? Could you talk about your personal understanding towards it and briefly introduce the consensus mechanism of your own projects? So, okay, let's first go with Bing.
Okay, thank you, Iris. I like these questions. When we talk about the decentralization, I think a lot of people think about when their file or when their data is stored in the different servers located in the different locations means the decentralized okay, I have file, it's saved in Beijing at the meantime and it's saving to New York. Is that decentralization? I think it's no. It's not a decentralized storage. It's just a distributed storage. When you store all your data to AWS S3, Google Storage, or Ali Storage, or Dropbox, such like the storage tool, they are decentralized. They are not decentralized storage. They are just distributed storage. So that's one thing I want to see. And so what's the decentralization? It's mean, like use Strato as an appearance. Strato using the unique, the proof the traffic consensus to improve the miner of the Strato network. It's just like when we store anything to the Stratos, who own the data. It means the data will be owned by yourself or the data be on the platform. So when the data you store in the Stratos, all your data is owned by yourself. You will use your private key to handle it. And no other people and no any platform, they can abuse your information. They couldn't access your data if you don't give them permissions. So that one will be the decentralization. And all the people in the platform, they will have the equal right. That means you're super powerful, or you're super rich, or you're very popular, or even you'll be boss of this platform. All the other people, they're nobody, but you still don't have any permission to manage their data. You don't have any permission to remove them data. So I consider that will be decentralized data, decentralized storage. So no one can play with your data without your permissions. Thank you.
Thank you, Bing. It's really interesting. Yeah, so distributed storage is very different from the decentralized storage. Yeah. So according to the Stratos, users can have full control on their data on the Stratos. Yeah. Thank you. And what's your point on this, Zikun?
Yeah, so Bing is talking about the data's ownership and the privacy. So I'm talking about from another angle. So decentralized storage is actually not a new concept for us. So as early as 2005, the BitTorrent network was born, and everyone was storing and accessing files in that P2P network, right? But at that time, BT was defined as a distributed file sharing system. So until the popularity of the blockchain and IPFS, everyone has gradually known the concept is about the decentralized storage. Okay, so that the decentralized storage is actually an old concept, but a new prepositions for us. So in my to my understanding, the decentralized storage is just a file system and connected through a P2P network. which is a peer-to-peer network. And this file system, which has no difference from our computer's hard disk. So simply to say, everyone who satisfies the decentralized storage protocol, whether it's IPX protocol or the BitTorrent protocol, can join this storage network and provide your hard disk to this network and participate in the storage and retrieval services and provide these services. So that's my understanding about the decentralized storage network. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. It's really interesting. So what's your opinion on this, Chris?
Yeah, thank you, Aris. And I just heard about something that Zixuan talked about. So I just used to want to talk about something about Failcoin. So I just add something about that. And I want to give one other point is that like Failcoin is built on decentralized rental marketplace on IPFS, as we know, making data storage and access decentralized. And right, and just like he said, so it breaking the traditional data storage barriers and handing over data storage and also access to a network of P2P nodes. However, we believe that our builds another model that permanent data storage, immutable and traceable, which is not only sacrifice the requirement of decentralized data storage, but also makes the data into a consensus. So Ever Finance launched this new paradigm for blockchain application development based on the data immutable. So we believe that immutable data is the foundation of Web3. Yeah, that's all the thing that I want to talk about.
Thank you, Chris. According to what you said, immutable data is really important in the decentralized storage. Thank you. Now let's go to our second question. Storage is used on a daily basis from smartphones and computers, and the current solutions we have seem to work just well enough, like AWS, Google Drive, and Dropbox. However, there has been growing concerns that different devices and service providers are becoming more restricted for users. Or in other words, storage is becoming more centralized than we have expected. And if our data is kept in a centralized database and it gets breached, this will cause some serious trouble. Is it one of the causes that decentralized storage is necessary for blockchain? Other than this, are there any other reasons for us to change to adopt decentralized storage if the current storage solutions just work fine? So let's still go first with Bing.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So actually, this is exactly what I just mentioned in the previous questions. The difference between the decentralized and the distributed. All the AWS, Google, and Dropbox, they provide high availability, high quality storage, and better user experience services. And all this feeding is better than decentralized storage project. Like, okay, they have better user experiences, like the Dropbox, you can use on any platform, on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer, or on the server. I think they did a lot of great work on that. The decentralized storage right now, maybe the user experience is a little bit worse than them, but we just started, right? So, but the point is why everyone here still working very hard on the decentralized storage. Why? Why we already have centralized, why we're still working on here? So I think the reason, if I can summarize again here, I think the reason is still two. One, people need to be the owner of our data. It means we need to keep the ownership by ourselves. Who creates the data, who owns the data. The second one is, again, people need the data privacy. They don't want any third party to abuse our information or our file without our permission. You don't want to open your email. You don't want to upload or save your data from your picture or photo in your cloud. And some people, they can use it to do the machine learning, deep learning, or they even use your file without permission to do something you don't like to see. So that's what we really want to do equal right. So because that, the current centralized system cannot solve the problem, cannot guarantee you own your data by yourself, and cannot guarantee you have the equal right with others. So that's why we're here. That's why this is the two challenges. This is two goals we really want to accomplish in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bing. Thank you for your sharing. Yeah, so the distributed storage is not enough to solve our problems because people have no data ownership, they have no data privacy. So that's why we needed this decentralized storage. Thank you, Bing. So what's your point? So what's your point on this, Zikun?
Okay, so Bing just said what I want to say is the data privacy and the ownership. But I can just talk about this question from another angle. So I think it's super necessary for us to have this decentralized storage and for the blockchain also very necessary. So comparing with the Web2 ecology, it is not difficult to find that in the Web3 ecology, the computing and the storage are two basic capabilities. So those big name blockchain projects such as the Ethereum or the Polkadot or Solana, so those projects providing the computing capabilities, they provide a powerful smart contract availabilities to let us deploy and run our apps on the blockchain. So everyone has seen a variety of blockchain applications on those platforms, right? Like the Uniswap, like the Compound or the NFT project, like the DAO project. But the Web3 applications is far less diverse than the applications on the Web2 world because of the lack of storage. Okay, if we have the storage abilities like the computing abilities with this like the smart contract projects like the Ethereum or the Polkadot, the applications on blockchain will be much more diverse than the current time, right? So therefore, the decentralized storage is a true demand for blockchains. And it's also something that everyone cannot wait to looking forward to. So for example, the current hot topic, the NFT, has a great demands for the decentralized storage. Okay, so I think this centralized storage solution will still exist, but from the perspective of like the Bing said, like the data privacy or the ownership, the centralized storage has a fatal and unresolvable problems. But that's the point that decentralized storage can essentially does it. Okay.
Thank you, Zikun. Yeah, one interesting point that have advantage than Web2. Yeah, thank you. And how about you, Chris?
Thank you, Iris. So just as these two really professional talking about like privacy and something like different demands, right? So I just want to mention that data-centric storage loss is a reason, but we don't think it's the key factor. Existing storage solution also do a good job of doing offset backups, and they're more secure and reliable solution for document storage. We believe that there is a stronger reason to use decentralized storage and that is permanent storage, because permanent storage is a completely new topic and it's not something that all storage-based projects are currently tackling. So like permanent storage is as disruptive as Bitcoin ledger to traditional ledgers, and the immutable and traceable nature of storage make more sense than like having files scattered and across the network from multiple backups. So of course it must be disrupted. No, it's not disrupted. I want to say something like disputed storage to ensure immutable and traceable file, but distributable storage is only the first step. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, the current solution for storage is not enough for us to store our data. Thank you. And now let's take a break. It's a time for our first Lucky Joe. We'll have 2 rounds of Lucky Joes today. Rules are simple. Once it's ready, go. You can tap store in the chat channel. Then I'll call 3, 2, 1, stop. Our staff will take the screenshot and draw 3 lucky guys out of the viewers. 现在是中场休息抽奖时间，我们要进行弹幕抽奖。等一下，我用英语倒数，开始3、2、1，停。开始后，大家在弹幕区发送 store， 活动工作人员会进行截图，在火星、B 站、YouTube、Facebook 抽出3人获得空投。Okay, let's start. Ready? Go. 3, 2, 1, stop. Okay, that's for our first Lucky Joe today. The result will later be revealed in our community. Now let's head back to our topic. We know you have chosen different networks such as Ethereum and Polkadot to build your projects on. Why did you choose to build your project on a specific network? What's the competitive advantage of building projects on a specific network over one another regarding each individual project of yours? So what's your point on this thing?
Yeah, thank you, Iris. Strato provides decentralized infrastructure services, which include blockchain, decentralized storage, decentralized database, and decentralized computation. Strato aiming to build a closed ecosystem, then become a decentralized cloud service provider. In the other side, Strato blockchain is not only take care of the token Strato token, STOS, and not only take care of the transactions between the wallet and the payment. All the storage traffic and the following database transactions, and also the decentralized computation workload. All this information, the validation data will also be needed the blockchain services. And we will implement some customized feature in our blockchain side as well to give the better support to our different components. That's why Strato prefer to own our own blockchain instead of any third-party network, because our own blockchain will be support the entire ecosystem of the Stratos. That's my answer. Thank you, Iris.
Thank you, Bing. While Strato will have its own ecosystem. And what's your point on this, Zikun?
Okay, so Crust is based on Substrate. So Substrate has a tiny and mature blockchain solution, and its forkless upgrade based on the Wasm and the powerful off-chain worker greatly simplifies our handling of our high complexity proxy. So in addition, the Rust language also has a huge advantage than the other languages. So the lack of memory links and the compile time checks makes us feel that Substrate is an excellent blockchain development framework. Okay, so based on the development of Substrate and from our project started, it was super natural to connect with the Polkadot ecologies. So yeah, that's the reason why I choose the Substrate as our blockchain-based development mechanism plan, and why Polkadot is our like the ecosystem. Okay.
Thank you, Zikun. So the design of class is very compatible to the Polkadot. Thank you.
Yeah.
And how about you, Chris?
Thank you, Aries. So Aries Finance is launched on Aave. So the reason we choose Aave is Aave's storage enable data storage, which has blockchain features, just like immutable and traceable, which do not exist on some existing storage projects. When we create the application on Aave, the primary requirements was that the data must be verifiable. And if the data itself doesn't have verifiable features, then it would be difficult to guarantee conscious and objectivities in the new paradigm. Besides, our developers also try to build a system by using Fail, but the Failcoin, so Failcoin mechanism wasn't completely matching our logic. For now, Aave is the only one that meets the needs of storage-based computation paradigm. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Chris. The reason why our finance is built on Aave is because Aave has many unique advantages, and yeah, it really has good performance recently. And now, thank you. Let's continue our first questions. And unlike the storage we have been used to, most of us have no idea how to practically adopt decentralized storage. If we list out the concerns of users, difficulty to use, cost to maintain, and data security will most likely be on the top of the list. So how will your projects solve the problems mentioned above? So how about you, Bing?
Yes, thank you. Let me to answer this question step by step. The first thing is difficult to use. Yes, for the customer and user consumer side, Strato storage drive will be integrated into the Strato wallet. The user can just using the wallet to upload, download, or just even play the video in the Strato network. I mean, it means if you upload a video or even you upload a movie to Strato storage network, the other friend, you just tell them the link or the address, the other friend can log into their wallet and to watch the video or movie directly. This is for the end user or customer, but for the business user, it's also the target for the Stratos. We really want to build the business solution. So for the business user, we will implement the Strato protocol is compatible with AWS3. As you know, AWS3 is the most popular storage solution for most of business clients. So we want to do that. So let any user who is using the S3, they can feel so easy to integrate from S3 to Stratos. That's the other way we help the business user to lower the difficulty to do the integration. The second thing is cost to maintain. Stratos storage solution is very similar to the business storage solution. Any data uploaded to Stratos will keep at least 3 copies or replications. So the user, when they upload anything to the Strato, they will never worry about data loss issue. Their data will be always there. So it's no any single point failure, and don't worry about your data will be lost. Yeah. The third one is data security. the key is to access your own data, is your private key or something, maybe your wallet, your hardware wallet. So just keep your private key safe, then the Strato will take care of all your valuable information like a Bitcoin network to take care of each of the Bitcoin. All of them actually in the same security level. So your data, your key, and in your bag. That's my answer. Thank you, Iris.
Thank you, Bing. I think the viewers will have more understanding about the Strato this time. And how about you, Zikun?
Hey, so I think it's a very good question. So I will also like Bing to answer it step by step. So the first one is about usability. So here let's talk about the cross application layer protocol, which called DSM, Decentralized Storage Market. So what cross provides is a completely open and decentralized storage market with no barriers to entry. So anyone can just place a storage order on cross storage network. So once your order recorded by cross chain is about 6 seconds. So the IPFS storage nodes on the cross network will pull your data, pull your file, and which is no different from the experience of like uploading your file directly to some like Dropbox or the Baidu cloud, right? So, and we also provide a variety of toolkits in the second layer, such as the GitHub Action, the Node.js package module, and the command line tools, which help user to use and deploy their data to cross network. So the second thing is the cost. So the storage cost of the cross network is extremely low, and we calculate the cost about storing 1 terabyte data only just costs you $1 to $2. So that is basically like free, right? So the third question is about the data security. Because Crust is an IPFS-based blockchain incentive layer network. So all the IPFS-based file encryption tools are adapted to the Crust network. So such as the chain safes file encryption, and we also grant a project called SkyKiwi. They also provide like a zero knowledge encrypted algorithm to the IPFS files. So yeah, that's my answer to the 3 different angles about how to use the decentralized storage. Okay.
Thank you, Zikun. Cross network will have mainnet launch recently, so we are really looking forward to it. Thank you. And now, what about you, Chris?
So just briefly talking about something about my perspective about this is that using Aave for storage is quite simple, because you know that everybody knows that storage or read logical of some project is really complex and not really user friendly. So for storage file on Aave is quite easy enough for both technological like professional people or normal users. Just send the transaction with the file to the Aave nodes as easy as like sending a normal Ethereum like Ether transaction, just like that. So it's quite simple. So yeah, that's my answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, Aave is easy to use. And now let's go to the next question. When we talk about storage, we can hardly skip the topic of increasing capacity. In a more blockchain-like term, scalability. Moreover, another thing we need to consider is transferring the enormous size of off-chain data onto blockchains, which also emphasizes the significance of scalability. So where decentralized storage also faces the scaling problem, And how will your projects adapt existing infrastructure while developing the scalability solutions? What's your opinion on this, Bing?
Yeah, thank you, Iris. This is very great questions because this probably is the pinpoint for a lot of storage project. It doesn't matter centralized, decentralized, or distributed. It all have the same questions. Keep the balance of storage is the most important feature or the challenge for everything, for all the project. So how can we solve that? Stratos storage network contain two layers. We have resource layer, and we also have the metadata layer. Metadata node in the metadata layer like the brain of the human being. I mean, when you jump, when you run, when you walk, when you do everything, your brain is keep your body balanced. The same thing like the brain. The metadata node will keep the balance of all the storage in all the resource node. And because the metadata know all the resource node where they are and how much storage there, what's the space, what's the capacity of each server, and what's the bandwidth of each server. So when any new node be added to the resource layer, or any current node be removed from the current resource node, the metadata will be notified the first time, and they will rebalance all the resources node again. So they will do a lot of transfer work. Okay, before you remove your node, okay, let's get all your data and transport to the other node, maybe even to the different region. If I can go a little bit further, when we talk about the balance, we have the other means. It means the balance in the particular region or the balance in the entire world. So this will be based on the regulation of the world. For example, if we have regulation GDPR of the Europe, and some people in Europe, they upload huge amount of the information, they want to be balanced. In that scenario, the balance could be only happen in the Europe area or region. You're not allowed to do the balance between the Europe or North American or Asia or China, because if you do that, you will abuse the regulation of Europe. So I mean, the balance have two ways, and we know that, and we will try our best to meet all the regulation of each of the country and the region to do the other kind of the balance. Okay, thank you, Iris.
Thank you, Bing. Stratos really have an elegant design, yeah. And so, how about you, Zikun?
Sorry. Okay. So actually the scaling problem, yes, I think it will. And actually Crust already faced this scaling problems in our preview network. So in the Crust application, I need to have a more go a little bit deeper about the Crust DSM protocol. So the Crust application layer protocol is called DSM, yeah, like I just mentioned before. So each storage order are corresponding to a key storage on Crust chain. Yeah, it's like the ETH state on the Crust chain. So this essentially faces the same problems as the state explosion of Ethereum. So as the number of storage orders increase, so there will be a great storage pressure on the chain. So considering this, Crust adopts a price adjustment mechanism, which is super similar to the EIP 1559 in the ETH. So which is comprehensively considers the order demands, the number of keys on the chain, of course, and the free storage capabilities of the entire IPFS network, and has formulated a price mechanism and which can dynamically adjust the order fee order storage fee. So through this mechanism, it is possible to increase the price in the case under the state explosion circumstances. So suppress, and which is also suppress the demand for ordering and maintain the stabilities of the entire blockchain system. And for example, if there is a great pressure on cross-chain and which the market storage order price will increase rapidly, and those demand the user won't take another place another order in this circumstances. And after the blockchain is free, and the price will go down, so user can place a storage order that type. So based on this mechanism, we launched an activity called Profit Data on our preview network, which is actually a pressure test for cross DSM protocol. So under our testing data is about 60,000 orders per 24 hours. So that's like 600 times than the usual scenario. And our network works super well and still can get 20 replicas each file under that pressure test. Okay.
Thank you, Zikun, for your explanation. It's really awesome. So the price mechanism of Cross is the key to its scalability. And how about you, Chris?
Thank you, Aris. So I have one thing want to share to you. Just like yesterday, I saw a post on Twitter from the Musk Network CTO Yisi, who doubted that if we should build a decentralized like application on our web where or other elements are loaded from our web into this metaverse. So he questioned it, what is the point of spending millions of dollars to buy a virtual land? So as a result, when using our web, our storage is like having an endless amount of land, and the pernet webnet of our web never lacks of the scalability of storage space at all. So furthermore, consider the storage-based computation paradigm. So where we do not worry about scalability, off-chain computation has the same scalability as traditional computations, and the infinite land in the web mode enable storage conscious for maximum scalabilities.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, so you mean Ari has enough storage? Wow, that's really, really huge. And then now let's press a ring. In our first question, we mentioned the threat of centralization with the current storage solution for a moment. Is it possible that decentralized storage will somehow converge to centralization in the long term? How will your projects overcome this threat? And how will your projects provide total security for user data? Let's still go first with Bing.
Thank you, Iris. This is super good questions, because this is true, and this happens on some projects already, right? So, but how the Stratos solve the problem? So at the beginning, when we designed the Strato proof of traffic consensus could solve this problem easily. The metadata node, what I just mentioned, will always choose the optimized resource node, which will measure the multiple dimensions, such as the node performance, is this node is good, storage space, and the most important measurement is network latency. Especially, the network latency will kill the possibility to converge to the centralization in the long term. I give you one example. It's maybe not in China. I live in Canada. I give you the example in Canada. Okay. Maybe more than 90% of the population in Canada, they live in the big city. Okay. Only very minimum population live in the small town. That means if something happens, if the Strato network is in Canada, most of the Strato network is built in the big city, it makes sense because if they contribute their servers in the home, it makes sense. But does that mean small town, if the Strato node in the small town, they don't have any opportunity to provide the services or to get reward? No, it's network latency. If in a small town, they only have 100 people, if any user in that small town, they provide the services, and the other neighborhood, the people, they want to read some information, luckily that information is located in the neighborhood. So think about that. Maybe you get your information from Toronto node, take you maybe 50 milliseconds or 500 millisecond latencies. But if you reach that information from your neighborhood, maybe 5 milliseconds, even less, who will win? Definitely, the neighborhood node will be win, or we call them ledge computation or ledge storage services. So in this case, okay, that guy in the small town, they still get the task. They will execute the task and get the reward. So in this case, there we always encourage the edge node is far away from the centralized system, still do their work, do their decent work. And we will use it this way to make sure the entire Strato network always be decentralized and like the data mesh will be balanced across anywhere. Don't worry about only one central place will take care of the reward. That's my answer. Thank you, Iris.
Thank you, Bing. Thank you. So on Strato, the data is always decentralized and secure. And how about you, Zikun?
Okay, so I think all the POW or the storage projects, blockchain projects face the same problem, is that all nodes, like many of the nodes come from China. Yeah, because of the huge cost advantages, like the Failcoin. Yeah, we can say like the BTC, like the Ethereum, or many of their nodes come from China. Yeah. Yeah, but there is still something we can avoid to be centralized. So for Crust, design is also the DSM's rewarding system. So in the Crust DSM protocol, only the first 4 nodes that pull the user's data can get the market reward. That's the basic thing. So because of the IPFS pooling mechanism has the principle of the geographic proximity. So this mechanism determines that the Chinese nodes are pulling the American users' file. Their speed will be significantly slower than the American nodes. So with this protocol design, we trust that nodes will be adjusted themselves according to the user's need. So the more close to the user, the more chance you will get the DSM's reward. Yeah.
Thank you, Zikun. So according to the Crust design, the users can adjust the nodes balance. The nodes will be adjusted by the users. And how about you, Chris?
Yeah, thank you, Iris. So like in every industry, just the answer is the same. Is I think incentives are the best ways to ensuring decentralizations. It's just like our web doesn't require miners to store any files. It relies on the fact that the more you store and the more incentive miners get. So if a file become real, that such a real file that everyone wants it, and the person who owns the real file would have more possibility to get the reward when mining, so which will incentive like real files to become not real. So it's just like rap. But the thing I want to mention is that if people get the reward when they do something, they would willing to do that. It's the same, yeah, it's the same answer in any industry. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. So there will be rewards for the users who uploaded the real data. Thank you. And now let's go to our last question. This year has been a caravan festival of NFTs, and it's considered that it's just the beginning of the digital collectibles and so many other inspirations for the metaverse. As a result, we will absolutely need on-chain storage. So what will be your plans to be at the forefront of this innovation? Besides the collaboration with other NFT projects, what makes your projects more competitive compared to the other decentralized projects in the massive adoption of metaverse? So what's your plan on this thing?
Thank you, Iris. Yeah, let me answer these questions. When we start is I need to talk about Stratos. Strato is the first decentralized data architecture that provides a scalable, reliable, and self-balanced storage, database, and computation network that offer a solid foundation for data processing. This is important. It could provide a perfect solution for NFT project to meet all kinds of the storage requirements. For each of the NFT storage, for each of NFT category, not storage, they always have the different requirement, how to store their NFT itself, and how to associate to their digital asset. We see right now there are a lot of different categories. It could be just a big image, GIF, or JPG, or they could be a video, audio. In the future, maybe it could be the big document. Or the NFT also could be Uniswap v3, right? Also could be a GitHub project, could be everything. So they have all kinds of the different requirements, how to save them and how to save them separately and how to save them in very good performance. So we will analyze all the requirements one by one to see how Strato can help to solve their current problem. I think with NFT go more and more popular and go touch any industry, their NFT will be not only the current NFT, will be involved to any kind, even we never imagined it in the couple of years. So here I will pass all the details right now and would like to talk just the potential by using the Strato for the NFT. Since the metadata and the digital asset size is not an issue for the NFT itself anymore because all the digital asset will be saved separately to the Stratos. NFT player, their creativity has no any limitation now. They can think anything else. They don't need to worry, what's the size of my NFT? Can we save to the chain directly or is it bigger? Should I put this to the centralized system like AWS3 or Baidu Cloud or Ali Cloud? They don't have that concern anymore. Strato network will provide the necessary bandwidth and storage for them to achieve their goal, and any even bigger NFT asset, even like a video, audio, or anything else, the user can just save them to the Stratos. And if they do the audio, like I told to the YouTuber, the big YouTuber a couple of weeks before, and I said, I really encourage you guys not only do the streaming, from your YouTube, you get the big chunk of your revenue to send to the YouTube platform. Just come here, upload your broadcast video to Stratos. I mean, this could be the other thing. So we just want to let them know, when you do the NFT, think about Strato probably will be the good choice for you and keep your asset safe. Okay, that's all. Thank you, Iris.
Thank you, Bing. So viewers, if you have an NFT to store, you could consider Stratos. Yeah, Strato will fulfill the projects and fulfill the users' different requests. Thank you. And what's your plan on this, Zikun?
Okay, so to my understanding, when we talk about the advantages of decentralized storage, we need to compare both miner side and user side. Okay, so for the miner side, Crust's POW and POS consensus mechanism and our reasonable economic model has brought about 600 terabytes and 3,000 storage nodes in our preview network, Maxwell, so which has been highly evaluated and recognized by the entire IPFS miner group. So that's the miner sides. So as for the user sides, those are the cases which already on or integrated with Crust. So because Crust no storage costs and a completely opened storage market have already used and integrated by several well-known projects like the Uniswap apps, like the SushiSwap apps, like the Polkadot apps and the IPFS stocks. Those projects already use Crust and IPFS as their decentralized dApp storage. So, and we also spread our influence to the Web2 ecologies and the traditional internet companies like the Microsoft Azure and the Cow Transfer in China, like the WeTransfer, the Chinese version of WeTransfer, and which has already cooperated with Crust. So we also believe after the September 1st, our mainnet launched, we can better serve both Web3 and Web2 users. Okay.
Thank you, Zikun. So from the miner side and from the user side, Crust will have really good performance, especially after mainnet launch on September 1st. And then how about you, Chris?
Yeah, thank you, Aries. So like maybe you just see recent news about like Koi, KOII, which is an NFT project has already launched. We launched on like our web, and also there are a lot of NFT projects wants to put their NFTs into AI storage. So I mean that like if decentralized storage only solves the problem of temporary storage, we think that permanent storage would be more competitive, right? So Atomic NFT developed by Koi team or like my NFT, which is another NFT project launched on Flow, and it's quite different from other NFTs. While many NFTs today are simply storage on the blockchain, like Meta Inform is Violet. Using a web storage computing paradigm, it is possible to have both the ownership and the Meta Inform on the same chain. And there is a good example that both NFT and the actual digital content represented by NFT can be stored and authored on our web at the same time. So that's all. Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense. Thank you. So there are already many NFT projects to store their data on our ecosystem. That's great. And thank you all. We appreciate you guys joining us and sharing your thoughts on storage. Now let's call it a wrap. Now it's time for our second and last round of lucky draws. Rules remain the same. 现在是第二轮抽奖时间，规则相同。本轮一样抽出3位幸运儿，准备开始。扫描屏幕上的二维码进入社区获得抽奖结果。Get ready, guys. 3, 2, 1, stop. That's all for our lucky draw of today's panel. Our staff is working on the result, and the 10 winners will be announced in our community right after. Thank you for your viewing. See you next time. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
It's a
Thank
good night. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah.